This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast
with Tony Brueski.
With me right now is Dr. John Delatore, licensed psychologist. I want to talk with you and have you take a listen to a phone call here in just a few moments from Buster and Alex Murdaugh after the trial. Lots of things to break down here. Some new developments, some new publicity, if you will, about to drop, and stories from behind the scenes of this public circus that we saw earlier in the year. There's a new documentary coming out on September 12th with new interviews from Buster and several others in it. It's called The Fall of the House of Murdaugh. I'm, for one, very curious to see what that interview is going to be like with Buster. From what we've seen about this, what we've heard with some interactions back and forth after the trial, where do you think that Buster is standing on the case, the accusations, and the conviction of his father?
Probably annoyed. If I'm in Buster's shoes, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at everybody. I'm annoyed. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm angry, right, at everyone. And certainly my father, right? I'm certainly Alex Murdaugh for sure.
Yeah.
For putting me in a position where all these cameras will not go away. I can never be anyone or do anything ever again without someone knocking on my door asking me, hey, did your dad do X, Y, and Z? I am all the negative and vulnerable feelings that ever exist all of the time for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I'm curious to get your reaction to this. We're going to play a phone call. It's about 40 seconds in length. It was a quick interaction between Alec and Buster. This was only 2 months ago. It was after the trial had concluded, and they seem to be discussing some sort of meeting, possibly with Jim Griffin. Take a listen and give me what your thoughts are on this.
Buddy. Hey, I don't have a whole lot of time. I just boarded a ferry to get back to Hilton Head Island from Brueski. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to call. I was supposed to call you while you were with Jim. About this meeting, but anyway, how about text him and let him know I'm trying to call him? Okay. Did he talk to you about that? About the things that I told him? No, I can't really understand you either. All right. I'm gonna leave word with Jim and he'll be in touch with you. Love you. All right. Okay. I'm proud of you. Thanks.
There was a lot that was happening in that phone call. What's your take on what you just heard?
Well, I had said annoyed from before,
yeah.
But I have to, I also have to remember that Buster, his age development would also suggest that he would want some distance away from his father as well. I mean, even if his father hadn't done anything,
yeah.
I imagine the phone call would probably be somewhat the same. That his father would be desperate and in this weird way, kind of manipulative, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I'm proud of you. Like that's it. It seems forced, and it seems like Alec wants those same words reciprocated back to him.
Yeah,
and so. Even if nothing else had happened, I do think that Buster would probably have had the same responses, like thanks. But it's also coupled with whatever else that is going on in the time in which this phone call is taken. It's also all of those things as well. So not only is it developmentally, I want distance from my father, but it's also my father's doing some pretty bad stuff. I'm finding out a lot of this bad stuff, and I just if I never talk to him again, I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and for Buster's sake, I mean, obviously the outside looking in, it would be easy to say that, like, just move away, go somewhere where you're not going to be, where you can start fresh for your own good, because of the horrible things that your father has been convicted of doing. It certainly did not sound like a son who's, at the father's beck and call of like, oh, such an injustice has been done towards you. Let me help you any way, shape, or form. And Alec doesn't sound like he's missing a beat. He sounds like business as normal.
Yeah. No, totally. But I've never viewed Alec as someone who was totally and completely insightful. And by that, I mean, understands the long-term consequences for the decisions that he's making. When it comes to Buster, I also never viewed him as someone that was so desperate for his father's attention that he was just he needed to be there because that's his father. And that's, to me, that's understandable that he's sitting in the gallery on the side of his father because he needs to be there because that's his father. But I never viewed him as someone that was going to go, deep. Like he wasn't going to take any of the responsibility. There are some people that probably would have, that he was never going to be that person.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.